Hi, I'm Allison Winteroth, and I wanted to share with you a photo editing app that I have been using a lot in my workflow, and I wanted to share it with you today. This is called the Dehancer plugin, and I use it in Lightroom, although they have lots of different apps for different editing programs, including Photoshop, After Effects, and a whole bunch of different things. You can use it on video, you can use it on photographs. I actually even have the iPhone app that I could use on my actual iPhone photos. So it's a really versatile program. It emulates film, which I also shoot film photography. So this has been really fun to try and see what some of these different presets look like. I do not love editing. I'm not one of those people that wants to sit at my computer and edit all day. So the fact that some of these are one click and I'm out the door makes me really, really happy. I'm going to show you my editing workflow. And if you look below, there's actually a code for you to get 10% off. And there's a link below to pick it up. You can see how I use this right now. So what I did first was I uploaded all the images into Lightroom. And Lightroom, I've done some base edits to them, and then I go to photo at the top and edit, and then edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments. And so this is going to make a copy of this image so I can make an edit in Dehancer. So what you can do is on the left-hand panel, there's all the presets, and you can see exactly what you've done. You can see what the original looked like if you click the eye up in the top. And really all I do, it's pretty intuitive. I'm going through all the different presets and seeing which one I like best. Like I said, I keep going back and forth and seeing what the original looked like, what the changes I made are, and I'm using this as like my base start for this image. As I mentioned, I don't love editing a ton, and I really love a natural edit. So I'm looking for something that gives the pinks a lot of richness, and I keep coming back to these Kodak presets because I really like what they're doing with the pink. So I'm kind of just deciding which one I like. I keep deciding that this Kodak Kodachrome is what I'm looking for. So then I'm going over to the panel on the right where I'm changing the exposure. I can change the temperature, the tint. These are all sort of changing the color a little bit, and I've decided I wanted to add a little bit of magenta to this image because it's adding so much richness to the pink and the oranges. I'm adding a little bit of contrast, and there's some things in here. So you can basically decide what you want to do with this panel on the right-hand side and how much you want to adjust. And all I'm doing really, and this is what I do in any editing program when I edit, is I look and see what it does to my image. So I'm deciding which one is getting closest to my vision for this image. And I'm looking, so they have different options for like if you were printing the photos on different paper. And obviously I came back to the original one. You can change what it would print like, and you can change your saturation, and you can turn the entire thing off and on just to see if you like what it's doing. So I'm really liking what's going on. I really like this saturation. And then, as I mentioned, I can sort of change the color of the yellows and blues, the magentas and the greens, and see if it's getting me closer to my vision. So I'm just going back and forth, testing things out, seeing what I like. The nice thing about this is that it doesn't have any skin tones, so I can really have a little bit more fun than I normally would from an image that I maybe would be wanting to keep things closer to my skin tone color. So I can go back a step if I want to change things, and I can actually even revert all the way to the beginning. I can see a one-to-one, so I can see what it looked like at the beginning. The other thing I really liked is I'm not usually a huge grain in my images person, but I was really liking this image with some grain. So I'm changing things a little bit. They have different film stocks for different amounts of grain, and so I ended up just putting a little bit of grain on the image and just going through it, deciding what I like, deciding what I don't like, and really giving this image an edit. One of the things I like about this is that once I get an edit that I like, it is easy enough to save a preset so you can go back and reuse this same image or the same edit over and over and over again. It does give you some options to put some like interesting film edges on here. I was playing around with them, but it's not my style to do that, but I did think that they were pretty cool. I don't really do much with the film damage or an overscan. Any of those things are just not my jam, but they do look cool and they could be cool for somebody. So once I click OK, it's going to save it into Photoshop, into Lightroom for me. And see, I clicked OK a couple times. It actually took a second and I wasn't sure if it had saved or not. But then when I went into Lightroom, it actually did save it. So that was great. As I mentioned before, it does have these presets where you can come back and do the same process over and over again. You could also see the last edit that you made. So the edit that you made is going to, so now this is saved in Lightroom. You can see that image is right next to the other one. You can see what it looked like before and after. We are now in Lightroom, but we can really get an idea of what it looked like, and we can apply this richness to all of our images. So now I like that. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I'm doing edit in, I'm going back into Lightroom, and now I'm going to look and see what it looks like if I'm applying to the, so now it automatically applies exactly what I did before. You can show your clipping if you're overexposing or underexposing. It can show you that. Really got everything that any editing system can do, and it's super intuitive. This is really the second time I'm ever using this program, so I figured it out super quick. I like it. Okay, so we're going to look at the preset panel so you can see exactly what it looks like when you go in there. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've saved it, and I've used this preset, and I've gone back and over and over and over again, keep using the same image. I do wish that there was a way, I couldn't figure out how to do all the images at one time. It's making me do them one by one, which isn't the greatest thing if you're doing a lot of images all at once. Okay, so here we are in this panel. We're seeing the last edits that I did, and you can see presets that I've done before, and I can rename it. So like edited Kodachrome, I'm the author. I could save it like if I wanted to name it as the image that I was using, you know, so it was like flower field might be a great name for it. And so I really am going and I'm testing to see if there's any other preset that I like better. And I don't. I like the preset that I made. I'm super happy with it. And I'm just going to move on. There's no sense in messing with something that already looks pretty darn good. Thanks for tuning in. I want to just remind you that there is a link and a code below if you want to get 10% off of this plugin. And thanks for watching.